Let me show you exactly how to use your winter break to recharge and earn easy 90s when school starts up again in January. The winter break should recharge you. It's 2 weeks of no school. But for most students, it's a trap! Poor sleep, endless scrolling, binge watching, and eating junk food leave you feeling worse. The bad news? January is going to hit hard. And if you're not at your best for those 12 to 14 school days, it can cost you a full letter grade. The good news? In this video, not only will I expose the 5 secret winter break traps, I'll give you a plan so that you're fully focused and energized when you return to school in January so that you can earn hundreds on those culminating projects and your exams. The first trap is that you have no sleep schedule during the winter break. You can go to bed at 7 a.m. and just sleep until the afternoon. The problem is that you have to quickly reverse that sleep schedule when school starts up in January. For a lot of you, on the Sunday night before school starts, you're not going to be able to fall asleep until 5 a.m. And then you're going to have to go from 0 to 100 in a couple hours when school starts. No wonder it's so hard to earn those grades in January. The solution? Have a reasonable bedtime. It is the winter break, so push it back by a couple hours, not 10 or 12. So keep a decent sleep routine, get enough sleep, and with this solution, you'll easily be able to get back to a regular sleep routine the weekend before school starts. However, this next trap is, in my opinion, the most alluring, hence why I think it's the most grade destroying. Trap number 2 is that you have no routine. You can do whatever you want, when you want on the winter break. The problem is I find that most students, when they have nothing to do, just search for the easiest thing, which is usually social media. Now you have endless hours to scroll Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is that you want. The problem is that after this 2-week dopamine flood, you have to do a complete 180 and go back to school and focus on one thing consistently. My solution to this is insert a little bit of a daily dopamine detox. Actually, the English teacher in me loves that alliteration. You know, get some exercise, go on a nature walk, build a snowman, hang out with your friends, without your phones, of course. I'm not saying don't play games or scroll, but perhaps spend a couple of those 16 waking hours not in front of a screen. It's going to benefit you, and it'll be easier to put that phone and those distractions aside when school starts up in January, and the bonus, it'll be a lot easier for you to start dominating. As a side note, have you started to pick up on a common theme between these problems and solutions? The third winter break trap is you no longer have to use your brain cells. You literally don't have to think of anything academic or challenging. The problem is that most students go from 100 when school is there to 0 on the winter break, do nothing, and then after 2 weeks have to go from 0 to 100. No wonder so many students feel like it takes a full week to actually get back into the swing of things. My solution to this is do something throughout the winter break that keeps your brain running. So you don't go from 100 to 0. Maybe you go from like 100 to 30. You know, play Sudoku, do crossword puzzles, word searches, Wordles, do some reading, writing, whatever. Do something to keep your brain engaged beyond mindless social media scrolling. Now, moving on, no sleep schedule, no routine, and no brain cells are the obvious winter break traps. However, these next 2 are truly hidden and surprising, but if you catch them, you'll return in January so much more energized than you ever thought possible. The fourth trap is that on winter break, you don't actually have to move. Students complain about sitting in chairs all day and how much it drains their energy. Then they go on winter break and sit in a chair, sit on a bed, sit on a couch all day, and that drains their energy. No wonder they're so tired. You might as well be in school. The solution is to do some kind of physical activity every day. It doesn't have to be strenuous, but go for a walk for an hour, go on a little run, lift some weights, play some sports with your friends, go on a hike, go skating, go tobogganing, go enjoy the outdoors. Do something that gets your body actually moving. Now, for this final trap, it's the most insidious and what I think students get most wrong about the winter break. This trap number 5 is that you don't have to use any energy over the winter break. Hold up, I hear you say. Isn't that what relaxing and recharging is all about? Doing nothing, not expending any energy? The problem is that most people wrongly think that work drains their energy, and it does to an extent, and they also wrongly think that doing nothing gives them energy, which it does, but only to an extent. If you expend too much energy, you're burned out. That's what happens at school. But if you expend too little energy, you're fatigued. These are really 2 sides of the same coin. Too much energy and too little energy are going to lead to the same problem. You have none and you feel exhausted. Now, the solution to this seems counterintuitive, that to gain more energy, you have to expend some energy. There's a Goldilocks effect that if you do enough, you're going to have endless energy. And what I mean by that is find something that energizes you, that after you're done this task, this activity, this hobby, whatever, you feel alive. That's your energy stores being replenished. Whether it's sports, music, get-togethers with your friends, it does not matter. Find those one or two things that really energize you, that really make you feel alive. And over the winter break, dive into that every single day as much as you can. As a side note, for a lot of you guys, I don't think gaming is really super energizing. And again, I'm not saying don't game, but having a 12-hour league session, I don't think is the most energizing thing you can do with your time. Keep it to like 7 hours a day, not 12. These 5 traps combine to absolutely sap your energy when you get back to school in January. You combine no sleep, no schedule, no routine, no energy, and no movement, and you have a recipe for absolute exhaustion and a needed 1-week recovery when you get back to school. By the time you feel in school mode again, you've wasted 50% of January instead of dominating from day 1. And by then, it's already culminating in exam time. And this is going to be your fate unless you apply the solutions from this video. And did you catch the common theme with all of them? It's balance. I'm not saying never stay up late or never lay down on the couch too long. Heck, I'm excited to watch the Steelers-Ravens this Saturday. The key is that if you have balance, for example, some time on the couch and then some time getting exercise, sometimes staying up late, but generally having a good bedtime, I promise you, you're not gonna have to go from 100 to 0. You'll go down to 100 to maybe 50, and it'll be so much easier to get back into the swing of things when it comes to school in January. And you are going to dominate, you are going to get those hundreds and feel better than you ever thought possible after the winter break. Now, if you're struggling to get in the good winter break mindset and habits, you may want some other habits for when you get back to school. And for that, it would be the highlight of my teaching career if you subscribe to the channel for tons of other helpful tips and tricks that I've acquired over my 15 years of teaching high school. And you can also click on this YouTube video that YouTube is recommending for you. Thanks a lot, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.